for another review session for 2 episodes of season 1 of Luke Cage. This will be episode 7 and 8, baby. Episode 7 name is Manifest. That's what we're going to go into first. So Manifest, I actually thought it was a good episode because 1, there was a major death. There was a huge plot twist that we didn't really understand towards the end of it. And then in the beginning of the episode, like, Luke is really put under a barrel because Cottonmouth has an upper hand on him. Like, he's got dirt on him. Like, he doesn't know what to do, you know, and it kind of pushes him in this fight or flight kind of standpoint. And I thought the dynamics of just this episode as a whole was one of the better episodes I've seen in the series. I don't know, what did you thought, dude?
I thought it was really good. I thought that this episode kind of is a defining moment for Mariah.
Yeah.
And who she becomes and what she really is. And,
dang,
you know, deals with her, like, really fighting with who she was raised to be and who's really inside of her.
True.
Like, so seeing those complexities and then even looking at the dynamics of her and Cottonmouth, like looking at who was really the villain, who it really was not. That part is really interesting, and
that flashback, whole flashback dynamics, you could perceive it to be one way, and then by the end of it, you're like, wow. Like, especially with Mama Mabel, Cottonmouth's uncle, and then, like you said, Mariah, like, I mean, her character is just so much more deeper than you thought. And even the character of Shades, actually, he comes up and kind of challenges her in the beginning. Like, he brings out the worst in people, from my perception of his character, because he's very shady.
He's that character that kind of just, he don't do too much. He just stays in the back and hypes you up. Like, he's the evil in your ear.
Yeah.
Like, pumping you up to do stuff that you shouldn't do.
Yeah, he's that one that'll get people killed.
He's not going to do it himself, but he'll talk you into doing it.
Yeah, and that's not to say he's not capable. It's just, I mean, it's really interesting to see how things really play out. And Cottonmouth, to me, he was actually a really good character. When I think about everything he kind of went through, that whole flashback stuff, I was like, wow, this is some serious stuff that went down. So for me, this is probably was my favorite episode thus far. I actually give this one a 10. I didn't see anything wrong with it, and I was very surprised. I was upset with Misty a little bit. Misty be going back and forth with me. I'm
Misty
like,
upsets me all the time.
It's like, you think one time she's like, she gets it, and then she goes back. And I understand she goes back and forth from her perspective of how the law works, but it's like, come on, Misty.
Come on, Misty. Hopefully by the end of the series, she gets her life together.
True.
Because she's annoying.
But, I mean, given how everything ended on that episode, what did you give this one as far as a rating?
Maybe not 9.5.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. It kind of, it shows, like, it humanizes Cottonmouth in a way that I didn't expect. Like, I didn't think he could be.
True.
And I like that. I like to feel like, you know, people aren't just bad for no reason. Like, bad is something that, like, there's something that happens. There's always that one moment. And it's just like understanding how he became who he was like, oh, man.
All it takes is one bad day. Just playing.
Thank you for your killing joke reference.
But, yeah, that's our thoughts on episode 7. So now let's go into episode 8, which I couldn't believe. That episode blew my mind. The name, ironically, is Blowing Up the Spot. Luke has been shot, y'all. They shot Luke. Luke was on the ground. And it was that same gun, the Judas, I believe. That essentially it barrels into an object and then explodes out. And I mean, I heard it. When the shot went off, I heard like something drilling. Then I heard like a bam. And then he started to yell. And I was like, oh man, what happened? But one thing I'll say about this episode, it makes me understand the depths of Luke's powers. Because before, we just thought it was his outside, you know, that was very strong. But his inside, everything about him is completely different. And there's a whole new person in Diamondback that shows up. And his connection with Luke, I mean, to me, that was one of the most gratifying things of this series. Because I was like, when is Diamondback going to show up? You know, and then when he does show up, he's not this kind of villain that's like a pushover, you know what I'm saying? Like, he will kill you, and he's messed up mentally. And I don't want to spoil what his connection with Luke is, but dude, he gives it to everybody, man.
Diamondback is a bad person. He is a bad person. His hatred for Luke goes deep.
It really does. It's so deep that things that we thought that happened to Luke before, you find out full circle, a lot of it is connected with him.
Diamondback he been the problem since day one.
Yeah, the only thing that he really didn't do anything about was his wife that got killed. But even with that,
everything else bad that happened in Luke's life, Diamondback did it.
I don't know. It was a really good episode. Misty yet again kind of disappointed me. I don't know what's wrong with Misty, y'all.
She's Misty.
I don't know.
But Diamondback did provide the best line of episode. Is it episode
8?
8.
Yeah.
What he said? Dang. He said, I sent you to hell and you came back with superpowers. I was like, wait, what? Wait a minute.
Hey, I've been putting that on the hashtag on Twitter a little bit.
Scary.
But I mean, like I said, Diamondback was no pushover. Luke got in an altercation with him multiple times. And I mean, Luke couldn't just take him down. I mean, not only was he hurt, but like he exploited him mentally and physically. And not just that, Misty gets cornered with some stuff. Rosario Dawson's character though
is a boss.
She is. I love her character. Like,
she is a boss.
Claire takes no crap from anybody.
Facts.
Because Diamondback tried to get at her and she's like, nah, bruh, you catching these hands. So I mean, all around, this was a great episode, especially the way that it ended. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I will say is it Mariah? Mariah, I don't know. I mean, we know she killed her cousin, you know what I'm saying, Cottonmouth. That was just all hate and passion.
And it's so funny because you can still see that teenage girl that's still very upset. Like, some things like Cottonmouth pushed the wrong button at the wrong time. And it was just like...
It was building up to it.
It was.
Because he had stuff going on with him.
But I'm saying, he pushed that wrong button and she just spazzed.
I mean, she killed that man.
Okay.
She was showing up. I mean, she might have asked. Nah, she ain't acting nothing. She knew what she was doing.
She had more Mabel in her than she knew.
And that's been bothering her. And we kept on looking at her with the picture, and I was like, what's going on with her? And then you find out, like, okay, she's very much so like a Mabel. She is the modern day era Mabel, but she has more power. Honestly, than Mabel does. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. I don't know what they're going to do about Luke because when it burst in his stomach, it went into shrapnel, and it's like nobody can penetrate his innards. So either one, they're gonna have to go through him intravenously, or something else. I don't really know, but all I know is the end of it. I was like, this is dope. So I get this one to 10. I actually really like this episode too. Both these episodes were by far the best so far. What do you think, baby?
I mean, I would give it a 10 as well.
Oh, snap. We got 10. 10 on deck, yo.
That was a lot.
Yeah,
don't ignore that part. You were good, and then you took it. And it was just like, and now I want to take it back and give it a 9.5 just for that extra.
No, you can't renege, honey. Alright, so we both gave it 10. So hopefully y'all enjoyed that review for episodes 7 and 8. Mm-hmm. We're going to take a little parlay and a brief repose or whatever, and collect our thoughts and chill from this binging. We're trying to do this in a healthy way, but hopefully y'all are doing it healthily and not just watched everything yesterday. But either way, keep it locked. JBS, we ain't gonna stop. Y'all have a blessed one. Have a great Sunday.